it was 2018, when nothing less than the Prime Minister of Pakistan in a national address told the nation that in 2025 we are going to run out of water. Pakistan will be facing severe shortages of water, and he refers to experts.
And as floods happen in the United States, in Australia, in Europe, in China, everywhere.
This is what happens. The tragedies that we are facing now, they would have been much, much reduced. The government officials or the decision makers, they should not be told that how climate works, how clouds move, what is El Nino, what is La Nina, what is energy system. Between September and February or March, there were 40% less rains.
Less rains. Exactly.
And now, with the onset of monsoon, we have already had more than, I think, 50% of average rains by now.
And water is in abundance now.
Water is in abundance, okay? So
spillways of dams are being opened. Water is being released.
Exactly.
To the glaciers currently. So if we see, there are sudden melting of glaciers and very long range of mountains are absolutely black. That means in the winter there was less snowfall on the mountains.
Snowfall is variable, but you can't do much about those glaciers. Glaciers are not just massive, they are moving.
They are moving.
They always move. Glaciers are always moving. And it is one of the most destructive force of nature.
And this rainwater is the best to recharge our groundwater?
Rainwater, stream water, glacial water, everything ultimately when it is flowing, the ground is the lowest. The water flows
if
down.
There is more concrete on the ground. Then
yes.
How this land can absorb that water?
There's a very good suite of instruments and interventions which is now available to us, which is called water sensitive urban design.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello and welcome to Program Insight in Videos English. Dear viewers, Pakistan is witnessing some of the most troubled moments as well as current rains, which we call torrential rains, cloudburst, and devastation caused by flash floods. It's not only in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province, some areas of Gilgit-Baltistan, some areas in Punjab, and also in Balochistan have severely been affected. So in next 24 hours, Pakistan Meteorological Department has again cautioned the public that more high rains are expected across Pakistan. So therefore, the Met Office requested the common man people to take precautionary measures. While focusing on Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Gilgit-Baltistan, yesterday Prime Minister of Pakistan, Mr. Shahbaz Sharif, held an emergency meeting and got briefing from National Disaster Management Authority. Along with NDMA, Pakistan Army also sent its troops to the affected areas for immediate rescue of those people who have been stranded, who have been stuck up in certain areas. And military has also set up relief camps, including medical camps. So a very large business portion, residential areas that have been devastated due to these rains, and moreover, more than 307 people have lost lives. So deepest condolences to the families of those who lost their dear and near one. Why this phenomena of cloudburst is taking place, which is, of course, in the past it has been happening, but now in 2025 it is happening with more intensity. In Gilgit-Baltistan areas, some of the roads, some of the portions of KKH have been swept away due to these flash floods, glacier melt, and these all things. To discuss this all, what is this happening? What is way out? What is strategy? We are pleased to have with us a very renowned water expert, climate change expert, Dr. Hasan Abbas, who has more than 30 years of experience in the relevant field, and he has told us that he has worked in 4 continents of the world, and currently he's in Pakistan. So we requested him to come and join our conversation Very warm welcome to our program Insight in V News English. As I said, these disasters, floods, rains, it's a natural phenomena. But whatever we are witnessing now in 2025, cloud burst and flash floods, these things are taking place with frequency and intensity that it's killing people and destroying infrastructure. What is the reason behind these two flash floods and cloud burst?
Yeah, first of all, I would like to join you in condoling the precious loss of so many lives, which is again, it's nothing short of a national tragedy, and that warrants that now we should be very serious about what we are doing in order to combat the situation, and no more gimmicks and no more non-serious actions can be afforded from this point onwards.
And no more
Yeah.
political point scoring.
Of course, I mean that's what I'm referring to, non-serious things. And then, if you recall, just a few years ago, like I think it was 2018, when nothing less than the Prime Minister of Pakistan, in a national address, told the nation that in 2025 we are going to run out of water. Pakistan will be facing severe shortages of water and blah blah blah. And he refers to experts. Now it's the time that we try those experts, find those experts, because they just misguided the top leadership of the country, top management of the country, and we have not done any project which is climate compatible based on 2010 floods or 2022 floods, or incidents like something happened in 2021 in Islamabad.
Exactly.
So
It was urban flooding.
it was urban flooding, and not because of very intense rain, but because of bad development models, which went unchecked. So it is, I mean, climate change is nothing new. We know it. I mean, 2010 floods were one very stark reminder that we should mend our ways.
And it's almost 15 years now.
15
since
years.
2010.
Yes, but then what we got was that 2025 we are going to run out of water. And we were investing in the wrong direction. We should have, from 2010 onwards at least, our investments should have been towards climate compatibility of our riverine flood management infrastructure. But that has not happened. The current situation, the way things are being managed and mismanaged. I won't say everything is being mismanaged, especially these rescue efforts by various departments of Pakistan, by
It's
volunteers.
commendable, exactly.
It's absolutely commendable, and not just the department, but also the people of Pakistan, the local communities. They are risking their lives to save others, So that's absolutely commendable. But that is basically rescue efforts. Like when a disaster has hit, the top priority is to save lives.
To save life.
And that is the last thing that should be part of our plan. I mean, this is the last action. But there are so many actions which should have been taken before. And unfortunately, what we see is precautionary measures, planning measures, early warning measures, how the information from a sensor is converted into an early warning, how it is disseminated, how it is received by the community, and who is responsible in the community to tell people that this is the level of warning now, and then a plan that if the warning level is, for example, yellow, house number 8 of street number 3, where does that family go? That is the kind of planning that we need now. I have had the experience of this development of flood management plans. They always say flood management. They don't say flood control. They always say flood management plan or flood adaptation plans. In some of the very good countries in the world where the things are much better organized. You know, the planning was so detailed, and by the way, it's not rocket science, it's just the details that we are well capable of doing at our own without any foreign help or foreign funding. For example, as I said, house number 3, street number 8, family of Mr. So-and-so will move in case of emergency level yellow to school number 5, room number 3 of barrack number 2.
Wow, amazingly pinpoint.
And the community knows it. You go in that part of the world that I'm referring right now.
And as floods happen in United States, in Australia, in Europe, in China, everywhere. Exactly.
This is what happens, you know. For example, you go and you want to rent a house in a certain suburb of a certain neighborhood. It is the responsibility of the real estate agent who is giving you the papers of the home to tell you that what are the emergency situations you might be facing while living in this neighborhood. For example, they will tell me that your garage and the backside of your lawn is a flood pathway, it's a flood pathway which may be flooded once every 5 years. You can use it all the time, but you must know that these 3 months are the rainy seasons in which the place would be a flood pathway. So you will keep your lawn clear of anything valuable that might be floated away. You should keep your kids safe because the water will be moving. And when the flood season is over, that emergency is over. So to this extent, the community is educated.
Early warning management.
Exactly. So, you know, it is not the responsibility of the DG of NDMA sitting in Islamabad to go and help a person who is living somewhere in Gilgit-Baltistan, for example. It is the NDMA is doing a wonderful job. They are planning, they are doing everything, they are writing instructions, and then those instructions have different levels. From NDMA that gives a framework to all the provinces, then PDMAs, they should give framework to every district, and then down to a union council and down to a village and to a single house. And there has to be a list of responsibility, names of the responsible persons, so that
in every tehsil,
every district, every street, down to every street and down to every house. I mean, the house owner, the responsible person in the house. For example, house owner is an old man. He can tell that he's my son, he's young, he's 30 plus. He is the person who is responsible for the family. So he would be communicated. And all those mechanisms. So it's not a rocket science. This is where our investment should be, and it's not huge investment. Imagine if we had started this thing since 2010 onwards, the tragedies that we are facing now, they would have been much, much reduced. And as far as climate change is concerned, the government officials or the decision makers, they should not be interested, or they should not be told that how climate works, how clouds move, what is El Nino, what is La Nina, what is energy system. All our decision makers need to know is, and I think they already know it, but they should know it if they don't, that climate change is going to bring a couple of things which must be managed. And those couple of things can be counted on fingers of your one hand. You will receive more water on an average. Because
every year.
Overall. Not every year, but overall you will receive more water.
More water, okay.
And that's what is happening right now. But that water that you receive may not be following the pattern that was set in
That's the point.
in the previous decades.
Mhm.
The pattern may be shifted
Mhm.
or disrupted. You would be getting more intense showers in short bursts, which is happening right now. You will also be getting longer periods of dry months, like it happened just last year between September and February or March.
True.
There were 40% less rains.
Less rains.
And now, with the onset of monsoon, we have already had more than, I think, 50% of average rains by now.
And water is in abundance now.
Water is in abundance. Okay. So,
Spillways of dams are being opened. Water is being
exactly.
released.
Exactly. So, we have to manage longer drier periods. We have to manage heavier showers. We have to manage heat waves. That's also because global warming is driving everything. So it's the energy system of the planet.
Current flooding could be also the result of heat waves.
Actually, heat is what is driving the hydrological cycle. It is the energy that the planet is receiving from various resources, from the sun and from burning of fossil fuels and everything. All that energy is playing its part in every single, molecule of air which is moving with or without water. So energy is actually, what is climate change? It is change in the energy systems. So, and then we have to manage heat waves, and also we have to manage intensely cold spells. So these are the four things: more water, more heat, intense shower, and intense cold. These are the four things. So we have to prepare our society in order to cope with these situations. And again, coping up with these situations, again, you don't need, billions of dollars of funds from anyone. This is again within our resources. We can do it. First and foremost, you can apply scientific tools in order to find out that how much water, how much water can flow in a river and how much area it would going to inundate. Scientific tools are available, and I think we have no shortage of students and technical people who can use those tools, who could be hired and trained to use those tools and tell before something happens in an area. Your models can tell you under a cloudburst condition, which is, by the way, the planning criteria for CDA, Capital Development Authority, and the cloudburst is very explicitly defined as if you get 4 inches of rain or 100 millimeter of rain within 1 hour.
Within 1 hour.
Within 1 hour. Now, this is a very high intense shower. So, if this happens in any catchment area, how the water is going to move through the landscape. So, models can tell you that with pretty good accuracy. So, and then even today, for example, if you don't have those models, and you don't have to even wait for those models and their results. Today we have areas marked by the rivers. All these flash
by the rivers.
River has told you what is my extent, what is my domain, where I will move from, how much I will expand.
Exactly.
So those boundaries have already been marked. Like, for example, in these unfortunate incidents of KPK, the river has marked its boundaries. And if you look at any of those videos of recent floods, this year's floods, talk of Saidpur village, what you see is it's a big stream, has been encroached, both sides are road, the stream has been confined within two walls, and that area has been acquired for businesses and everything. I am not against businesses, but then respect the path of the nature. There should be building codes, and this is where the organizations like CDA and TMAs and all those authorities who have to ensure municipalities. It is their job to ensure that those things. There are ways and means of doing it, enforcing it.
True.
One of the things that we might enforce very strictly from today onward is that all those people who lost their house, shops, businesses, buildings, municipalities who lost their roads and other infrastructure, when they go to rebuild, look at the marks of the river. And whatever you do it beyond those marks. Don't get in again
to that area.
And the authorities must exercise their power. The power of legislation and the power of...
whatever are the rules, laws are available that should not be compromised.
Yes. So, we can actually manage our things. Now, one of the most important things is that if you give room to the river, now this is one of the initiatives which is being implemented in Europe, because it is not just us who encroached.
Space to a river.
Yes. Room for the river is a project which is being implemented in Europe.
And there's
another one which is called Rewilding Europe. Make it wild again. So it means that give river the room that it had before humans encroached. Because a few years ago there were huge floods in Germany, billions of dollars of losses on infrastructure and everything. And they have realized that, the way we encroached into the paths of the rivers, we trained the rivers, that was wrong. They have learned through expensive mistakes. I think we should learn from them. Don't make those expensive mistakes. And we also give room to the river. It has a couple of advantages. One, that it would contain the flood within its banks, and it will not harm the people. People are only harmed when they stand in the way. They say floods are the acts of God. Flood damages... Yes. Floods are the acts of God, but flood damages are the acts of man. So, if you give the way, the water will not only stay within an area where, it's not damaging your infrastructure and stuff. It will have more contact with the ground, and therefore more water is going to absorb in the ground. That will serve two purposes.
If that natural room is given to a river.
Yes, it will serve two purposes. One, that it will recharge your underground water resources. And two, as much water is recharged and absorbed by ground, as much is lesser in the flood. So it will reduce the flood peaks and store the water for you. So if you have a riverine corridor with vegetated riverine corridor where you have the natural species, wetlands, trees and shrubs, it will slow down the velocities, it will break the peak, and it will get you more water in your aquifer. And when the flooding season is over, you should be happy. You should celebrate the floods. Like people,
that it has brought water.
That it has brought water, it has brought minerals, it has the vegetation has become green, it's more thriving.
Exactly.
And if a longer period of drought follows, you have a lot of water stored in your riverine aquifers, because the groundwater, I have to explain it if you allow me.
Please.
Groundwater is least understood of all the bounties that Pakistan has been bestowed by nature. It is the least understood thing. Groundwater. This groundwater resource had been called by the experts as a hydrogeological miracle of nature. Hydrogeological miracle of nature. Okay. It has also been mentioned as a resource which is at least 10 times greater than your surface water.
Then surface water.
Than the surface water. Now, our investment since 1850s, when the British came, started doing this work, and after 1947, Pakistanis started where the British left. All the major investments, and when I say major investment, those investments are tens of billions of dollars for every single project,
True.
have been on managing or so-called controlling the surface water. Nothing has been done
On groundwater.
on groundwater. And one of the reasons that I see is that nobody knows groundwater. We do not have experts and qualified professionals for groundwater in the country.
And due to which a very large natural water is that is wasted, goes into the rivers. Exactly.
Yes. So, if you understand how the groundwater moves in the surface, it can do wonders for you. What is missing in our understanding of the entire hydrological system? Now, there are two hydrological systems which are very unique for our country, and we are, I would say, blessed with those two systems. Actually, I would categorize it in four systems of hydrology. One is your atmospheric system, which is manifested in monsoons and westerly systems and clouds and humidity in the air and everything. That is the atmospheric system. We all can see it, we all can feel it, it's visible, and we all can actually experience it when the shower is very intense, when the hailstorms bring very big hails. It happened last few months ago in Islamabad and stuff. So those are the systems, atmospheric systems, which are seen by all. Another system, which is this is atmospheric system, and then there are three terrestrial systems. One of the terrestrial systems is your glaciers. It's a huge natural storehouse. The atmospheric system dumps ice and snow on the mountains.
True.
It is stored there, and when it comes summer, it releases
Water.
It releases water into the next terrestrial system, which is surface water flow.
What is happening to the glaciers currently? So if we see there are certain melting of glaciers and very long range of mountains are absolutely black. That means in the winter there was less snowfall on the mountains.
Okay.
So what is this phenomenon?
Snowfall is variable. I mean, and it happens in the winters, it happens in summers because those mountains are very high. But you can't do much about those glaciers. Glaciers are not just massive, they are moving.
They are moving.
They always move. Glaciers are always moving. And it is one of the most destructive force of nature. You cannot imagine the forces that those glaciers exert on the mountains. So, if the glaciers are melting, we can't do much. If they are not melting, we can't do much. Glaciers are too big for us to handle, and we should not think of fiddling with them. Let the glaciers be managed by the nature. Okay. After the glacial system, we have the surface water flow system in our rivers. All the rivers and streams and all the way from glaciers to delta, that's the surface water regime. And the third terrestrial system is your groundwater system. Now, this groundwater system and glacial system, the kind of systems we have, I mean, there are very few rivers in the world which are blessed with the systems of glaciers and groundwater the way Indus has been blessed. This has not been understood.
There is connectivity between two.
All four
It
systems.
has not been understood.
Yes. We need to have that understanding at the planning level where the experts of all these fields, the experts of the atmospheric systems, glacial systems, terrestrial flow systems, and deep groundwater systems, all of them should be there. One of the manifestations of our misunderstanding about the groundwater systems is, for example, this Rawalpindi, Islamabad, twin cities, the major investment on water supply infrastructure in this area had been on three major structures: the Hanpur Dam, your Rawal Dam, and Simli Dam. These three projects, in today's time, if you have to build this is around $2 to $3 billion project. If you have to build
These smaller dams.
if you want to put these three dams today, it is $2 to $3 billion project. Yeah. That's the kind of investment that has been done in this part of the world.
True.
For the citizens of these two cities, for their drinking and domestic water needs.
Exactly.
But these three infrastructures combined, they are hardly fulfilling 25% of the requirement of the citizens. Where's the rest
In
of
twin cities.
in the twin cities?
Hardly
Where is
25%.
the rest 70% or 75% coming from? The groundwater. A resource which is least understood, least managed, and highly mismanaged. Despite all these things, it is fulfilling your 70 to 75% of the water needs in this area.
So, question is again focusing. We are reaching to the last portion of the interview. What is the way forward to, as some of the points you have already highlighted, that building and construction codes should not be compromised. There should be proper management of early warning system that should be disseminated to every. What else should be done? What is your advice to the policymakers so that as it happens every year, in every monsoon, these all things does take place, glacier melting and then cloud burst and flash floods. So at policy level, what should be done?
I think that one of the things that must be done is that if you are to manage groundwater, there should be qualified people to manage it. If you are to manage glaciers, you should have glacial geologists and other experts who know the glaciers. If you want to manage rivers, there should be experts who understand the rivers, the hydrologists and stuff. The problem with most of the planning departments is that, for example, Vasa is supplying 70% of groundwater to the citizens without a single hydrogeologist. They are doing it through civil engineers or those, drillers.
They are not the relevant people.
They are not the relevant people. They are not the experts, and they don't fully understand the aquifer. Our aquifers should not be depleting. Our aquifers could be maintained in quality and quantity because there is enough of water coming through the atmospheric systems and then through the terrestrial systems to recharge our groundwater.
And this rainwater is the best to recharge our groundwater.
Rainwater, stream water, glacial water, everything ultimately when it is flowing, the ground is the lowest. So water flows
If
down
there is
here.
more concrete on the ground, then
Yes.
how this land can absorb that water?
Actually, there's a very good suite of I would say instruments and interventions which is now available to us, which is called water sensitive urban design. Now this is something which is very less heard, this terminology. Water sensitive urban design gives you a lot of tools to improve the recharge of rainwater and stream water into the groundwater aquifers. It can be implemented in the cities which are already built, and it can be invoked into the planning of the development that you are doing now.
True.
And these systems, if you just Google it, I would ask the viewers to just Google water sensitive urban design, and because I have seen most of it in Australia, experienced most of it in Australia. So just go to any city council's website and write this phrase, water sensitive urban design, and that council will have its own plan on how to implement water sensitive urban design, would have beautiful pictures, illustrations showing
that
how it
information.
has been implemented. And but I'm also hopeful because the things, to some extent at least, are moving in the right direction. For example, one of the very good universities in Islamabad is planning to put a mini model of this water sensitive urban design on their campus. And one university which is actually, I'm talking to them on this subject, and I think they can do a wonderful job with this. And there's another university which has actually appreciated the idea, and maybe they also come on board very soon. So, I mean, we have to start from somewhere.
True.
We must educate our youth. We must tell our youth in the universities, bring them, closer to the industry, closer to the practical problems. Give them projects, term projects, or their master's thesis, or even, so they know what the tools are available. And then, if you are in university now, 5 years from now, you would be in some position doing something, and 10 years from now, you would be in a good decision-making position. So we must broaden the horizon of our students in the universities. And one of the things that I must urge to the policymakers, that the industry must collaborate with the universities, and universities must collaborate with the industry, and get the students involved on the problems that we face day to day, with the students, giving them the projects and assignments and term theses and stuff. So they solve your problems.
True.
Students are all over the world, they are called highly qualified free labor.
Yes.
So let's involve our students, let's involve our youth.
So last one sentence, since these flash floods are taking place now, whatever you said, that it is, of course, that needs to be implemented, early warning system, these all sensitivities, but at the grassroots level, there is no such system, information system, that people could be alerted, things like that. Shortcut strategy to save human lives, what could be done? I think floods are taking place.
Yes, I think this is a very good question, because we also have to think the short-term measures and medium-term and long-term. So some of the things that I said are long-term measures, and some of them are medium-term measures.
True.
The shortest-term measure is basically, I think we are already doing it, the rescue efforts. The rescue efforts.
Rescue efforts, of course.
After the disaster has struck, you have to. You can't go around educating people when they are drowning in floods.
Immediate rescue.
I think this is a very good initiative by NDMA, PDMA. They are doing whatever they can. Our armed forces, they are also involved. Corps of Engineers, especially, that has been deployed in so many places. And I have had the experience of working with Pakistan Army Corps of Engineers, and before every flood season, there were jurisdictions within a certain command of the armed forces, like this division is responsible for these flood protection works.
True.
And they would go and inspect them in the months of May and June, write a report, and if there are any defects, any repairs required, they will the concerned departments like irrigation department, the deputy commissioner, and they will fix those things. And then when the flooding season comes, you know that your flood protection dikes and those works,
System is in
they-
place.
so that system is in place, and those guys are doing this thing very diligently, and they do it every year. So taking lead from there, I think we should now start getting involving the communities, because one of the things that I experienced in those times, and I'm talking of early 90s, and my experience of the 1992 flood, which happened in Jhelum and
True.
Chenab River simultaneously. So, seeing from that experience, everything was there, but the involvement of the community was missing then, and I think it is still missing. Community involvement is very important, because at the end of the day, it is the father who is going to ask his children and the other family members to pack up, get ready, and move.
Move to the safer location. Thank you so much, Dr. Hasan Abbas, for speaking on this emerging issue that, of course, these are all natural cloudbursts and flash floods and this glacier melting and these flooding and these all things. But most important is how to cope. What should be the strategy? And with the various aspects of that strategies you have highlighted. And if these things are followed, of course, the material loss is there, but we can, of course, save more lives. And if there is an emergency services should immediately be activated, and people should be rescued from those affected areas. Thank you so much for systematically highlighting these all aspects, which country needs now to have expert voice like yours. Thank you so much, dear viewers. Till our next program, goodbye and Khuda Hafiz.